It's 3 a.m. in the morning, bodies laying all over the floor, and I don't remember how they got here, but I guess some must have killed them. Killed them. Hi. Well, it's 3:17 in the morning, and I'm back here with another horror film review. Uh, I'm Falagar, and I'll be reviewing this horror film for the Horror Globe. It is Burnt Offerings. Now, this is one that I said that I was going to do. It stars Karen Black and Oliver Reed. It stars Betty Davis. It stars Burgess Meredith as a brother and Aline Heckart as the sister. I forgot her name. She actually had a name in this, Mrs. something. Karen Black plays Marion and Oliver Reed plays Ben, and they have a son named Davy. It also stars Lee Montgomery, Dub Taylor, yeah, and then Betty Davis as Aunt Elizabeth. Now, as a lot of you folks out there probably already know, I'm really into these slow burn type horror films, particularly ghost stories, of the slow burn caliber. Um, and this is one of those films that kind of helped shape my childhood. Ones that I had seen as a child, along with things like The Exorcist, Hell Night, um, The Haunting of Julia, The Changeling, things like that. Many others. Absolutely love horror and ghost stories in particular. Um, so yeah, so this story follows uh, this family here, Karen Black and Oliver Reed and the boy Davy. They're going to check out this house that they saw on the ad that they could rent out for the summer, I guess, as a vacation home. And it said that the dealer was going to be too good to pass up. It was some incredible deal. It turns out that it's going to cost them $900 for the whole summer. So of course, well, at the beginning he doesn't. Ben doesn't want to take it at first. He wants to think it over, and I guess it just takes them like one day because they call back and they accept the offer. When they get there, the house is like it's pretty wrecked. It almost looks it's not wrecked beyond where it's like absolute crap or anything, but it still looks semi dilapidated, I suppose, but still impressive enough to because of the vastness of the house, how big it is, and Karen Black feels as if she, with a little bit of work, she could kind of fix up the house. Now, with Burnt Offerings, this is it's a very different type of slow burn ghost story, because it truly is it is and it isn't quite like a ghost story. It's probably more akin to something like The Shining, only maybe not as good as that, in my personal opinion. But still, it's a good one though. I can't really say too much, otherwise it starts getting into spoilers. It's one where you just kind of have to see and watch it unfold. It's one where, upon multiple viewings, you'll start to see more and more things. Like, I mean, when I first saw this as a child, like I said, I've always loved these ghost stories, but I was always used to like a more direct approach, like Haunting of Julia and things like The Changeling, where it was like it's there's a ghost, it's there's nothing more to it. There's no it wasn't too complex. It was very straightforward, a very straightforward ghost story. But things like The Shining, that was another one I grew up with. Um, it just kind of confused me a little bit because you don't exactly see any ghosts, and this is falls somewhere along that category of like I said, like The Shining. So when I first saw it, I was somewhat confused, but at the same time I was terrified as a child, because I mean it's very atmospheric. Not so much now, even though there's some eerie moments, um, but let's just say it's something to do with uh, the house, and it has to do with possession. Okay, um, and it starts kind of taking hold of this family and kind of manipulating them and changing them into something that they are not. Okay, so I think it's best if I just go in and read the back right now. It might be able to give a better synopsis, far better than I. Evil has a new home. It says here, Step inside a vacation house of horror in this terrifying thriller that does for summer homes what Jaws did for a dip in the surf. And that's a quote there from the New York Times. Really? Hmm. Starring Karen Black, Oliver Reed, Burgess Meredith, and Betty Davis, this riveting haunted house chiller delivers, and another quote, hidden terrors that mount creepily as the film builds to a climax of pulverizing fright, says Rex Reed. And by the way, Betty Davis's character is Aunt Elizabeth. Yeah. Marion, played by Karen Black, and Ben, played by Oliver Reed, find it hard to believe that for only $900, they've rented a sprawling country mansion for the entire summer. But as they settle into their isolated estate with their son and Ben's aunt, played by Betty Davis, they find themselves surrounded by a living presence, an evil, hypnotic occult force that feeds on torture, fear, and murder. This film is rated PG. It is an hour and 54 minutes. Yeah. And made in 1976. Directed by, what does it tell me? Produced and directed by Dan Curtis. Okay, and let's just say that there's one little detail about this, about renting out this summer house for $900 is they have to watch over the mother of Burgess Meredith's character, and and the sister, known only as Mrs. Allardyce. Okay, and she's said to be 85 years old, and she'll be sleeping in the upstairs room, like way up there, like in the attic area. It's really, really creepy. The way they set the atmosphere, everything, the house. There's a scene when Marion first goes to pay visit to Mrs. Allardyce, and before actually entering the actual room, just kind of like on the outside part of the room, she has all these, as they refer to it, her collection, Mrs. Allardyce's collection of just family photos and these picture frames, and it's just there's like a vast amount of photos, which is very odd, and they all look like they're from like different time periods, so it just kind of made her like look at it kind of strangely. And there's a music box, and I don't want to get into it too much. It's going to start getting into spoilers, but this is just one that you have to see, and I do recommend that you hit this one for Halloween. It's a different type of ghost story, and I have to warn you, like I said, it is slow burn. But if you're into things like The Shining and other type of slow burn classics such as The Haunting of Julia and The Changeling, which by the way I sent last year to the Z-Man, Mr. Zirin Isaac himself, and he just hours ago just put up a review, a double bill review of The Haunting of Julia and The Changeling. So I encourage you folks to go check that out. It's a very fantastic review. Also on the Horror Globe, Simon Says Movies does another incredible review of The Changeling as well, and I encourage you to check that out. And I myself, for the Horror Globe, did a review of The Haunting of Julia as well, okay? And I'm doing a review for Burnt Offerings. So I do recommend that you check it out. It is a little long, an hour and 54 minutes, almost 2 hours. Really no special features. It's an audio commentary with director Dan Curtis, co-writer William F. Nolan, and Karen Black. And there's an original theatrical trailer. Karen Black, who is now dead, I think fairly recently, and Oliver Reed died, I guess, somewhere around 2000 or 1999 or 2000. His last film being Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe. And I don't believe he even had the chance to see the finished product, unfortunately, if at all. So very, very sad that those two fine actress are no longer with us. So, okay, so Burnt Offerings. Pick this up if you find it for cheap. I think I only paid $3 for it brand new at Half Price Books. And there's my review for Burnt Offerings. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you folks for watching. Please subscribe to the Globe. Subscribe to everyone involved in the Globe, and have a happy Halloween. And I'm back. I'm sorry. I forgot to give you guys, information on the PQ and the AQ. Picture quality was was fairly good, fairly decent, you know, coming off of a DVD and an older film. Um, did I even give the year that the film was made? I think I said 1974 or something like that. The audio quality was okay as well, but I found that it sounded just a tinge muffled, just very slightly muffled, but still not that bad. I've actually heard worse. And for the final score, I would have to give this film. I'd have to give it a solid 3 out of 5 stars. Okay, so there we go, folks. That's my review for the Horror Globe. Okay, burnt offerings for the Horror Globe. Okay, so goodbye for real now. Sorry.